I'm Libby Ediger. I serve as CEO and Executive Director of Atlas School. Atlas School is a trade school, but instead of welding or cosmetology, we teach software development. My job is to help possible students find us and to get them through their education and ultimately placed into a job working in the tech field, ideally here in Tulsa. I grew up in Oklahoma. I'm from Stillwater, which is about an hour down the road from Tulsa, but I'm a little bit of a government nerd. So I found myself in Washington, D.C. for undergraduate and thought I would do the government thing for work. But instead, halfway through college, a buddy of mine asked me out to a cup of coffee and said, "Hey, I'm working on a project, and I think you'd be a really good fit for what we're doing." Turns out that cup of coffee led to me joining the early team at a software startup. I knew nothing about technology, and I very quickly immersed myself in all of the language and all of the terminology and things I needed to know to help build this software business, which I ultimately did for over 5 years. That journey was incredibly eye-opening, and though I still like to read polling data, I found that the thing keeping me motivated and interested was building a team and building tools. It captured my imagination, and I thought, I gotta do this forever. After working at the startup for a long time, I was ready to go back to square one. I had found myself back here in Oklahoma and knew that I wanted to do something tech-enabled, but was also looking for an opportunity to make impact on my community and the people around me. We decided, in partnership with an incredible family philanthropy, to launch a software school. And so that's what brought me here today. I think that learning experience is something that we now emulate in the school. We can teach someone software skills. That's important. It's good to get the first job. But if we don't teach them how to learn and teach them how to continuously learn, then they'll always be stuck at whatever software language they learned first. And we know the rate of technology is just so fast that we have to teach them how to develop and test new skills all the time. I love Oklahoma. I think that this is a really special place and that the people here are unmatched. I always imagined that I would move home, but didn't see a clear pathway from where I was at in DC and the work I was doing to move back here until I got connected to the George Kaiser Family Foundation and a group called 36 Degrees North. They were building a co-working space and tech accelerator right here in Tulsa. And I thought, gosh, these are the companies and the founders and the people that I spend time with in DC. And there's this small but mighty community being built here in Tulsa. And maybe there's something that I could latch onto, something that I could dig into and have impact. What you have to know about Tulsa is that we have no public four-year university. For the universities that we do have, both here in the city that are private and across the state, we've grappled with really serious brain drain. Our students come to college and then they go take jobs in Dallas or Kansas City or Chicago because they feel like there's better economic opportunity there. That, coupled with the growing need for an economy like ours to become tech-enabled and tech-dependent, meant that we needed to get people trained and we needed to keep them here. And one of the best ways to be able to identify and train a workforce is not only to look to your 18 and 19-year-olds, but to look to folks who are in their late 20s and their mid-30s, who deeply want economic mobility and opportunity, have absolutely the brains and the smarts to join a field like tech, but just have never had a pathway to get there. We know that college is expensive. We know that college takes a long time. Could we find ways to reduce those barriers, get people the technical training they need, and then ultimately help them find work? What we've seen is now graduates who are industry tested, ready for work, and they get to do so in less than 2 years, which is pretty remarkable. We're in such an exciting time in the education field where instead of only having this pathway to a 4-year degree, our students can come to us and get that first foot in the door with training, and then we can point them at certifications that build from what we've done. We hope that once they're then working for that employer, that they're advocating for the next level, that next certification. I really hope that we're building lifelong learners and that our students see this opportunity to always push themselves, to be upskilling and reskilling. I think that the tech industry is truly leading in our market. If you're looking to get into the field of technology, I think you have to be curious first and foremost. You've got to be willing and excited to ask questions. There has literally never been a better time to get into technology. Learn about the things you like and do things that you're passionate about, but do it through the lens of tech.